Members would like to have order for this bill that Senator Taylor has been focused on all session. Senator Taylor, you're recognized on, there's going to be a lot of discussion on this bill, so listen closely. Senator, you're recognized on Senate Bill 1620.
Thank you, Mr. President. The number of backyard chicken flocks in Texas has steadily increased in the past decade. The growth in popularity is due to citizens' desire for safe, fresh, homemade eggs. Several major cities in Texas, including El Paso, Austin, Houston, San Antonio, McAllen, and Dallas, allow chickens in residential areas. No significant issues have been raised by these cities as a result of backyard chickens. Many cities, however, still have outdated ordinances that ban chickens in residential areas within city limits. Senate Bill 1620 removes the prohibition of reasonable resident ownership of 6 or fewer backyard chickens while allowing individual municipalities to make practical requirements and regulations. Senate Bill 1620 supports the growing consumer desire to have cage-free organic products. It also gives students involved in Future Farmers of America and 4-H the freedom to raise chickens in their own backyards as pets for educational purposes or to show in local fairs.
In putting this bill together, did you ignore any stakeholders in the issue?
I'm going to have to chicken out of that question.
This has turned into hee-haw. This is not good.
I am extremely excited to vote for this exceptional bill. But when it passes, I hope we don't have to hear you crow about it.
Have you consulted some of my friends in Louisiana? Have you consulted with Popeye's Chicken about this?
This is not a vendor bill.
Have you consulted with Church's Chicken about this?
Why are you trying to pass this bill on the intent calendar today?
So we can get to the other side.
Members in the gallery, understand every bill is important to someone. I just want you to know this. Senator Bettencourt.
Senator, I'll rise to ask you a question.
Here we go. I yield.
I just heard something astounding. I say Linda Coop is carrying this bill?
We are in discussions with her office.
Now, I say there's something that's really important that we talk about right now. I say you mentioned a whole variety of chickens when you spoke to Senator Garcia's concerns about urban chickens, but you did not mention the most devious chicken of all. I say, in nowhere did you mention the word chicken hawk. I say, foghorn, leghorn, I have a real fear of chicken hawks. Will you amend your bill to include chicken hawks as part of your 6 chickens? You got to refer to a script, to a cartoon character, sir?
Well, look, I don't want to put the cart before the horse here and accept any amendments.
I say you
pass a clean bill.
I say, sir, you've been talking too long. I just don't know what else to say except I just lay down my microphone.
Thank you.
If anyone else passes a chicken bill that allows him to do that impression again, he will not make it to the floor. Go to Senator Kolkhorst, and all yokes aside, can we kind of be focused on this?
Thank you, Mr. President. I really am not. I'm so glad that an urban member brought a bill such as this, and I'm going to give a serious twist to it, okay? I do think that it is important, and while we're, it's quite a funny bill that we have to give people permission to be able to raise some of their own food. And as the original co-chair of the Farm to Table Caucus from the House, I'm really pleased that you brought this. So there are some cities that are limiting the ability to have chickens in the backyard. Is that correct?
There are. Not many, but there are some in Texas that do.
So this is really just saying to cities, everybody, if they want to raise have 6, I don't know why you picked 6, but I want to thank you for bringing this because you mentioned the importance of what it can teach for children. And I actually had a niece in Fort Worth, right there by TCU, that had chickens, and they ended up, they had eggs, and they were able to enjoy those and give them to friends. And it was really, their kids learned a lot, but more importantly, it was a food source for them. And I think this is a kind of a liberty thing. If you want to raise your own food, you ought to be able to. Thank you so much.
Thank you for a serious and kind comment.
You're recognized for final passage.
Mr. President, I move for final passage.
Secretary will call the roll.
Bettencourt, Birdwell, Buckingham, Burton, Campbell.
There are 30 ayes and no nays. Your bill has finally passed.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, members.